decided what car I'm going to get. I know Bacon thought it was a WRX. Nope. I don't think so, Bacon. Definitely not that Subaru power. I think you're all going to be pleasantly surprised with all The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy D. Wally here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. We are recording live on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 for episode 180 here, and we are going to be talking about 343 Industries is dead. Is dead. Fallout plus Elder Scrolls plus Starfield equals Bethesda. Ubisoft is selling its soul, and Blop 6 campaign and rewards and other special surprises. Joining me, as always, is... I don't know how he's doing it, you guys. He is literally heading into the eye of the hurricane tomorrow. Please welcome Disney-bound, hopefully, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I am honestly very tired. But as I mentioned last show, I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be in Orlando, Florida, as we speak. For anyone that's watched any little bit of news for the last week, probably knows why I'm not there right now. Fortunately, my wife, who is amazing at what she does with our vacations, was able to rearrange a lot of our stuff. So now we fly out tomorrow. Tomorrow, our flight is at 5 a.m. So we are leaving the house at 2:45 a.m.
Stay up all night, baby.
I kind of thought about it. I'm not going to lie. And I told Victoria that, and she was like, absolutely not. Please, I need your help with the kids, that's fair. But, I mean, here's the thing. We've been watching the storm. It is now in the Atlantic officially. So really, as long as it's far enough out tomorrow, we really should, we've been checking flights. We have no delays. We have no cancellations right now. So it's really important that we're trying to get out tomorrow. Not that I don't want to push it back more days. That's fine. But tomorrow, because that's when we have tickets to the not so spooky Halloween party. And that's the whole reason we're going. We bought the tickets literally 6 months ago because they sold out within 2 days. So that's the reason we're trying to get out there. Hopefully all will go well, but wish me luck. Shout out to Don Lionheart over from Season Gaming. He left 3 days ago to Orlando, so I hope he's doing okay. I hope his trip was okay. I don't know if he's going to Disney or not from Season Gaming, but anyway, that's the saga. Excited to it. And what's crazy, this is the gods saying that they want this show to continue. Guess when I come back next week? Wednesday night. So I'll be here for next Thursday's show as well, talking about all the great food we had. So I've been great, man. Excited to talk about some of the amazing, awesome news we got this week about gaming.
And joining us, as always, Godspeed to Chipotle Bear. Finish the fight. Bacon Gaming. How are you?
I'm coming to think that Thursday nights are not great nights. I got football, basketball's back, preseason. I just have so much divided attention right now, but I will try to give our viewers.
You're paying 100%. Attention to random NFL teams?
Preseason basketball?
I have preseason basketball. I don't miss any games. I think I've missed maybe 5 total games impressive. In the last 5 years. I don't miss Jazz games.
I admire your dedication. I remember there was one summer, Bacon, where I watched every Rockies game at night in high school. What was I doing?
Was it Rocktober when we went to the series?
2007, I did.
Yeah, there was just a period where I was like, it was kind of like a routine and a soothing bedtime thing. Just Rockies are on.
You gotta watch them. You gotta watch preseason so you can see how your young rookies are doing. It's very important.
Well, I watched a little bit of Bronny, and man, that kid needs some work. And joining us as always, just give me more
Power Wash Simulator.
Power Wash Simulator DLC, Bubble Boy N7. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to be here. A little bummed because we had to course correct at the last minute for our special guest, but he'll be on as soon as he can. I think he's busy talking big bucks with Blizzard, but I didn't realize that yet another Power Wash DLC came out a while ago, and it's the
Oh, I didn't even notice
Midgar.
your background. Sorry, the Midgar.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, that one's
I know that's already
old.
been out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's been
the new one's the Space Marine, the Warhammer 40,000.
Oh.
out. A game we should all
and-
be playing, but
Yeah, the game is incredible. I got nothing bad to say about it. It's so good. I could play it for hours and hours. So
yeah, very nice. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Nessa. Shout out to Silkinet. And shout out to Todd, who said something about the link. Who are the links? I'm just kidding. I know that's a WNBA team there, Todd. I'm just giving you crap.
WNBA is still a thing.
The championship is going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, we wanted Caitlin Clark to be there. Let's be real. Jose, wow, we've got some crazy shout outs, Jose.
Oh, sorry.
Shout out to Brian Smith, SD3RB, 5 days ago in response to Bacon's short on the RTX 5090. I'd guess $2,500 MSRP. They don't care about us consumers. They're already into AI, and not to mention the leaps in performance. It's almost bet it's going to be $2,500 plus. Bacon, do you think he's right on the money with that?
Yeah, rethinking of my
Hold
estimate.
on, Bacon. I'm getting feedback. Somebody needs to mute when you're not talking.
Are you still
Go ahead,
getting
Bacon.
feedback?
Bacon, speak again.
I'm speaking.
I guess it's me whenever somebody's talking. Go ahead.
Well, thinking back about my estimate, and they didn't really raise the price from the 3090 to the 4090. That's why I kind of set where I was. I knew there was going to be a price increase, but 2500 seems absurd. They could, because this thing's going to eat monsters for breakfast. Oh, classic. But yeah, it very well could be $2,500. I'm not gonna lie.
And Bacon will be there day one.
I think the wife would have something to say about that.
Do you hear it too, Jose, or are you listening to someone else?
Can you hear it through my open back earphones? Is
Here,
that
can
one?
you mute Bacon? It's Bacon. It is. Shout out.
That is correct.
Elgato.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we were just praising Elgato. No, it's okay. It's not that bad. Shout out to Original Ghoul 3738 3 days ago in response to last week's episodes. Now I'm gonna warn everybody right now.
Hold on to your butts.
Everybody, Jose,
Hold on to your butts.
if you keep shilling for them over an obviously bad game, then they will never improve your essentially. This is essentially a run-on sentence. There's no punctuation here, so I apologize if I stop like this. Then you're essentially causing the industry to say, well, this guy likes it us doing 25% and pays full price. We will never get good games. You are part of the problem and not solution, and your accessing kissing their asses helps no one, and in the end you will lose access anyway, except people will see how you defended them, and your channel will die unless you buy subs from India and China. Because no one will trust you. Is possible access worth it? You know they have a list of people like you that these companies laugh at and will continue to give crap games because you will eat it up. No one else will. It blows my mind how YouTubers begging for access don't have enough foresight to see it will cost you subs and fans, just like these companies losing millions and billions on broken mess. Just ask Ubisoft and soon CD Projekt Red.
I didn't know we could buy subs. We got to get on.
Yeah,
that.
we got to get on that. Jose,
that easy?
Can you look that up? Thank you, Original Ghoul, for commenting. We actually genuinely do appreciate that.
Passion.
I appreciate the passion. Is he talking about Strattered Space? I'm assuming. Is that?
I'm
That's what
assuming
I
so.
figured. Yeah.
I'm confused about the access thing. Were we
We
begging for
didn't,
access?
we didn't ask for
Or
access.
should
We all bought
I-
it ahead of time.
Hey, Microsoft, if you're listening, we would love access.
Yeah. It's like, Dan, you holding out on us?
We're your
Anybody
biggest
else?
fans, Microsoft. Give us access.
Anybody else want to respond to Original Ghoul? I like the
I mean,
name.
I appreciate a write-in always. That's why I put it in
Yes.
here, not making fun or anything. I do
Yes,
appreciate,
yes.
but I kind of get the sense that they just saw our title and didn't actually listen to the show because we didn't like. I also like he brought up CD Project Red, like that's weird. Like it's like pulling in someone who's not even part of the argument. And they're like, "What the hell, man? Like, what are you doing?"
Good point.
I mean, look, I understand that people think that if you think Starfield's a bad game and you think we're defending it, you have every right to believe that. But we, all four of us here, we liked the game. Do we think it's earth-shattering? Do we think it's the best game we've ever played? I don't think so, but we certainly enjoyed our time and it was worth the money that we spent on it. So, you know, we can certainly choose to disagree. For the record, I did know we could buy subs. I know that's a thing you can do. I don't want to do that. I would rather get great people like Nissa, like Silkenit, like Todd, right? Part of our community and grow slowly but naturally. So, you know, whatever. I hope that you do something to soothe your soul, Original Ghoul, because it seems like you're real angry about something.
Bubble Boy, anything to add?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That it's why I don't do social media. You cannot win. There is no such thing as a win. Here are the four of us just trying to celebrate something we enjoy, and oh, dang it, you know. So I don't want to go back to the Anxious Generation book, but I feel like I have to because it makes me feel bad for our youth, who this is their entire world. Happens in things like this.
Speaking of unhappy youth.
Oh, I was just gonna say, please. I don't know how he keeps doing this or how he gets special access. Please welcome back the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast host, creator, and PlayStation fanboy #1, Joseph Moran. Please welcome back Mr. Badbit to the show.
You keep on inviting me. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about this. Back out. They keep on getting them back. That's
Joe,
You gotta change
welcome
the
to
locks
show,
on
brother.
this house.
Speaking of Joe, we just had a rude comment, but Joe's here. Perfect timing. Jose, let's jump into Xbox news
What's
for the
rude
week.
comment? Whoa, you can't just answer.
I think Deja Vu's calling Joe a troll.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, I was just in here for a second. You know, jeez.
Joe, I'm happy you're here.
yeah, no,
Thank
we
you.
really are, guys.
Has he seen our short from last week when I was talking
Yes,
about
he did.
Joe?
Yeah,
Okay.
he liked it and he commented on it. And
PlayStation's awesome.
It is. I love it. It's great.
guys, big news this Sunday, and I had to say, shockingly, I know you guys don't think I'm a real gamer or a real Halo fan. I was watching the Halo World Championships this Sunday live. I randomly caught it right before the final match. And because, to be honest, I was kind of having it be on the background so I could earn some special skins, which I did not earn. I did not watch enough hours.
So not much of a fan. Just saying.
But I was there, yes, when it mattered. I did watch the final match. Shout out to Space Station Gaming for taking down the Green Wall. Optic Gaming, my team. We lost this.
You have a team?
Well, I have their skins. So here's the thing. Right before the championship match, I'm like, what is this new? They're all, they're talking like, we've got special news from 343 in the future of Halo. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And sure enough, out of nowhere, we're getting this dramatic video. And I hope everyone, I'm assuming Joe watched it. Jose Bacon, Chance, did you guys watch?
17 times.
Okay.
Jeez.
And again, we'll get to, we feel like we've seen this before, but they announced 343 Industries is dead, Jose. Not the one I wanted, but thank you. And long live Halo Studios. Not only are we marking the end of 343 and the beginning of a new era, they also announced that they have made the switch to the Unreal Engine just after making this commitment to the Slipspace engine. Am I right, Bacon?
He's absolutely right.
And they are working
That is correct.
multiple projects over at Halo Studios, and they're hiring, expanding. So much to dig in here, boys. I've been waiting to talk about this all week. I tried to get Ains on here, but he said you guys suck, and I was like, thanks, Ains. And so he's not here. But
Doesn't sound like
thankfully-
something he would say.
He's absolutely right.
He did in a private chat, but thankfully we had Joe, who claims he's a Halo fan.
That's right.
He was talking about it last night.
Still to be determined. I didn't get a chance to listen to
I
his
would own
episode.
you guys. I would own every single one of you guys in Halo. It wouldn't even be close.
Wouldn't go that far.
Maybe
It wouldn't even
maybe
be
everybody
remotely
but
close.
me.
You would definitely get me, but not
Not
Dan.
have a chance against me.
So
No, I think. Listen, by the end of that match, Dan would be pregnant.
yeah, probably. Joe, special Halo PS fanboy guest number one.
Hi.
I saw some of your tweets. I saw the excitement. Are you excited, or are you still skeptical like the rest of the hating internet? Or can we be excited for something here, Joe? What was your reaction to this?
First off, if I sound congested, that's because I am. I have.
Yeah,
a,
what's going on over there? Are you
You-
okay?
I don't have just
you
one,
dying?
but two sinus infections.
God damn.
Ugh.
Both.
Joe,
little-
if you're sick, you don't have to be here, brother. You
Nah. Well,
stay for the
honestly,
Halo. That's
Here's the
stay
thing.
for the Halo.
Here's the thing. I need to be here because it's gonna get the PC hot. It's gonna get like the room's gonna get warmer, and then I can start breathing through my nose. So it's actually gonna be very beneficial. No,
You're welcome.
listen. Listen, I'm both, dude. Like I'm both
Yeah.
very skeptical, and also optimistic. Like,
Yes.
you know, it does go into the reports of like seeing Master Chief in his OG Mark V armor. That was enough for me to go, okay, this is the remake. The multiple projects is whatever the remake is, the next game, and then hopefully we get another Halo Wars. You know,
Wars, I like it.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's another game. We would get you pregnant so fast in that game. It's not even ridiculous. It's scary.
Not even a feature in that game, and yet it still would happen.
It would. Yeah. No, definitely. Anyway, so plenty have tried and they have all failed against Luke and I and our friend Kev. We're pretty darn good in that game. Anyway, I'm very excited. But also very skeptical because we seem like we go back to this loop constantly of like, hey, we're
going back to
the
basics.
drawing-
Halo is
yeah.
about this. This is what Halo means to me.
And it's like we're all tired of hearing that, and I think there is a realization of like Halo's never gonna be where Halo 3 was, right? But how do we get it to a place where it stands firmly along or in the arena with all the big first-person shooters?
Yes.
And I think it starts by earning back trust and by putting out some content that is going to bring people back. And I think starting with a Halo Combat Evolved remake genuinely makes a lot of sense because now you're learning the engine. You're learning what, first off, you're having to build this thing from the ground up. So you don't have to think about, narrative or voice talent or anything like that. You could just go, hey, we are making this game. What are smart changes that we can do so it's not necessarily playing it safe, but
Yes.
this is a safe-ish
we need
entry.
I would say more of a remake, right?
Right.
Not just a remaster, because we need to make it a little bit more modern.
Right.
I need a clamber. You got to have that in there. I ideally would love to see the grapple shot just be a staple of Halo. I think that's one of the greatest additions
yeah.
343 made to the game. I can't imagine it without it now, to be honest. I feel like that's a part of the movement. But I want to say this, and I got to shout out Ains, even though he's not here. I remember when we had him on before, guys, and we were talking about Halo, and he's like, he had a great point. He's like, if Halo is the staple of Microsoft and Xbox gaming, why don't they commit to it like you see Call of Duty committing to its franchise with the 3 studios working on, or 4, I don't even know how many work on Call of Duty. Why are we not seeing that kind of commitment to Halo? Therefore, if they never commit like Call of Duty and Activision was committing to Call of Duty, Halo will never get back to that level. And that was a great point. To me, like Joe said, I am optimistic from this announcement because to me, it looks like they are showing us we are recommitting to Halo. But also to Joe's point, I don't think it's going to ever get back to that. That's fine. I don't want it to. like he said, I wanted to have a spot in the pillars with
Yeah.
Call of Duty now, with Fallout now, with Bethesda games, with the other Forza Horizons, with the new pillars of modern Xbox versus the nostalgic Halo from
360.
2001 through 360. Correct. So I have to give Xbox credit. It seems like they got rid of bad leadership. One, they're rebranding, renaming, and getting rid of that bad stigma with 343 Industries. And they've got the leadership in place and the multiple projects. I'll throw it over to Jose. Joe shared his 3 projects. What do you think, or the multiple projects are? What do you think there, Chipotle, and your initial reaction to all of this?
I mean, I don't know what the exact projects are. I do agree with Joe that I think doing Combat Evolved again as your starting game in Unreal 5 is a smart move. Like, it's just, that's smart because you're not really redoing all the story and the content. You certainly could, like, you can change things, right? Because it could be like a true remake and you could change a couple of the things, but ultimately people are going to be excited to see it rendered in the new engine. I also think that Microsoft, or I should say, I hope that they are learning, shout out to Big Box in the chat, is that they're learning people want lots of Halo in terms of like a universe, right? So like we might do the Halo Wars. They might do something brand new with it. They might try to do something like with Reach again. And I'm not saying that that's what necessarily all the kids want these days, but I think that they realize with like Fallout, with the show, they should have had something to go along with the show, right? And if with Halo, not to say that a game would have saved the Halo show, I think that was on its own trajectory, but I think you're right that they're recommitting. What I think is really cool, and I'm going to nerd out for just a second. I really, this week, when I had a couple of downtime, some minutes of downtime, I really got into researching engines and optimization. And we might get to that later. It was a question from De Niro from last week, but I learned a lot because I genuinely didn't know what those things meant. Like, I've heard them and I'm an educated dude. Like, I understand what they mean in the context of what we talk about week to week, but I never truly understood at the real level what they are. And so I think it's such a smart move for them to move to Unreal. And not because I think Unreal is better than necessarily Unity or any other things, but I think one of the key issues they realized with the Slipspace engine was, while it was awesome that they owned it and they built it from the ground up, they ran into the issue that when there were problems, there's no outside help. There's no one else developing this tool, where with Unreal, not only are you buying into a system that already has an insane amount of content there, but they also have people so that if they get stuck, they can say, hey, we want this, how do we do it? Hey, we want to try this, how can we do that in the system? And even if it's something not there, there are people to help them build that. And so, the last thing I'll say, and I'm happy to pass it on to Bacon and Chance, I was not skeptical, I was very excited about all this, but man, when I saw that first render of what would look like Halo in Unreal, I was literally breathless. And I was like, hell yeah, that is exactly what I have been waiting for from new gen stuff. So I'm super excited, man. Happy to see what's going to come.
Bacon, before I throw it over to you, Jose brought up a good point. That's another thing I wanted to say that Xbox also addressed was what are the things we complained about with Halo throughout these years? One was the engine, and the other was, like Jose said, getting content out. Again, they got rid of leadership. They switched to the engine. We're getting Unreal. We should be able to get more content out. We have to give credit to Xbox. It seems to me like they're making the right choices, Bacon. But as far as the projects go, I think, hear me out on this, I think they're going to remake Halo, Combat Evolved. The other project, multiplayer, that will be multi-platform
And mobile.
and will be on all consoles. It will be everywhere to play. And then the third project would be the next campaign installment for whatever they decide to do with Halo. And I heard some good conversations today on Defining Duke. Chris Reagan joined Cognito and Mr. Maddie, and he was saying just strike 4 or 5 in Infinite and just go say, hey, we're picking up where 3 left off, and just do that.
100%.
Or like, there are those rumors of the Halo Infinite 2 being canceled, which sucks because like I felt like there was good potential in Infinite, but I'm thinking these multiple projects, guys. Halo Wars. Let's be real. That's you guys are taking crazy
Shut
pills. The whole like, oh, let's
That
make
story
these
was great.
small. I'm not saying it's a
why
bad
wouldn't-
game. I'm not saying. I'm just saying like Bacon. We'll get to big boxes. Big box. Don't worry. I got your comment coming up. I'm gonna throw it to Bubble Boy a second. Guys, let's be real. You got to do the remake, a multiplayer suite that's everywhere, and then the next Halo story beat, and then maybe the ODST's scary game or the Halo Wars, which I still think boomer caca. So Bacon, what was your initial reaction to this, and what do you think they're working on over there at Halo Studios?
Well, my initial reaction is Halo Studios is the correct name. 343 didn't make much sense to me. It is the correct name. Second,
Really, is it?
343 Guilty Spark? Come on. I like the reference.
I never liked 343 to be honest, but is Halo Studios just it's kind of boring? Like I would have
it just shows
I would have
all they're gonna
rather
do.
like
100%.
that's what they're going to
what
do.
about like Pillar of Autumn? Like that would have been a cool studio name.
But they don't need a deep cut name. They need a name that is recognizable. You want to build the Halo brand? Give me a studio called Halo Studios.
Yep.
Because the new
I know.
generation of kids aren't going to get that.
Yeah,
reference.
don't get me wrong. I think this is way better than 343. You're right. Okay, go ahead. We got. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And second, I think it looks absolutely incredible in Unreal. I'm concerned about Unreal just because of all the stutter and shader compilations that come with Unreal games. Hopefully they'll all be ironed out. I mean, I've noticed performance issues in Unreal 5 games, especially on console. A little bit of concern there, but we do have the masters in the coalition that works there and uses that engine all the time. Second thing is the amount of contractors that Microsoft uses and used on Infinite, and they can only work for 18 months at a time. And most of the time, those 18 months were tied up with learning slip space. So hopefully that eliminates that because most people do know Unreal and they should be able to streamline the pipeline. What I think is coming, of course, is Combat Evolved Remake, a game that deserves a remake. It's going to be awesome. Not a remaster, full remake. And I think it is going to be the Tatanka Battle Royale is going to be the other project.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe that like when it's multiplayer. That's a good point. Do you really think they're going to do that? I don't know.
I do. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, we never heard that it was killed. Like after all that.
I thought we heard it was. I thought like Certain Affinity wasn't working on a Halo project after a while. I don't know. Go ahead, Bacon. Sorry.
But
you think it's a
Tatanka
Battle Royale.
Tatanka makes sense because you can get it on every platform and it won't be sacrilege like putting Combat Evolved on the PlayStation because nobody wants Combat Evolved on the PlayStation because Xbox has no games.
At least Joe does.
Xbox has no games. Why would they want that? There, you're right.
I want it. Stop. Listen, the one thing that I hate that we do is it's the same 5 fucking people. Sorry, I cuss. That are on Twitter that say the dumb shit out loud, right? And like, and then we're all. It's like that. Those 5 people represent the whatever million of fans there are. Shut up. Your games are good.
It's always the real vocal minority.
Bacon,
Exactly,
any other
it's
points
so
before I throw it over to Bubble Boy?
But I agree. Halo Wars needs another game. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think they abandoned Infinite and they just straight up.
I
created a
liked where
different
Infinite was
timeline.
going. But
I
it's
liked
Infinite
Infinite as well.
We'll talk about that in a
Banished
second.
and all that. I get it, but.
Shout out to Big Box. Big Box, I'm going to throw it over to Bubble Boy on this one. Ditch the campaign. That's boomer. Go all in open world sandbox PvP gameplay. Let's go. Bubble Boy, where do you think Halo should go next? What was your initial reaction to seeing this announcement?
Oh, I loved seeing it, and I have to clarify, when I say I watched it 17 times, I skipped all the talking and I just kept going to all the different screenshots and stuff. So I couldn't tell you a damn thing that happened in the video other than how beautiful it looked. I am not necessarily hoping for. I will be happy if it's a battle royale. I think that's where they need to go because they're going to pull in some of the Zoomers. That's what they're craving, and whether we like it or not, that is the
I like
reality.
battle royales.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I like.
Here's
whether
what you'll
we
say.
like
Not
the
whether
pandering.
whether boomer Halo fans who are obsessed with that's not Halo. Like the Ainses of the world, he would be like, "F that."
Ains is in the chat, by the way.
Oh, and
Hey.
speaking of, Haynes would be like, Halo doesn't need a battle royale. Leave it how it is.
No, and honestly, it's not up to up to us to
Correct.
decide what it needs, right?
Correct.
And so I'm going to assume it's that, and as long as it brings Halo to a wider audience, that's what I'm going to vote for. There has to be a campaign, and then lastly, and Joe will like this,
Okay.
they need to put it on all the other consoles that they can.
I
110%. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Right?
Hey, kid. That's your father. Feel bad for
sorry.
you, bud.
It's cool. The reason that I need
Isn't
them
it
to
weird
do
that like that kid exists because
I gotta
his
take
wife
care of this
swiped
hell
right?
spawn over here.
because his
Uh-oh.
what?
His wife swiped right. You know, that's wild. It's wild
The
stuff.
funny story about that is she actually didn't. And no, I'm kidding.
Oh, it
And
was a mistake, and it was
he
a sympathy
clearly
date.
forgets that we're all mandatory reporters. No, I think that the reason that I want to see that happen is because more people loving Halo is never going to be a bad thing. Never, absolutely not. And I think if we can pump that studio full of money by giving it a wider audience, that's only going to be good for us. Then we might get the things that we want, like more time put into the campaign, more resources put into a campaign.
So, if I can't push back a little bit, I agree with some of it. I am afraid of the other stuff. So, bring it first off.
The dad.
Who's the dad? Like, yeah, it's a tennis guy.
Very
Tennis
funny,
coach.
guys.
Tony Two Balls.
But so like, yeah, put Halo everywhere. We have to come to the realization that like Xbox
Put
is
Halo multiplayer everywhere. Campaigns, you got
Why?
to come over here.
It's
Why?
it's coming everywhere.
I'm over where?
I'm not saying I actually do think if they remake
where?
the
I like
okay, so that was the other thing. Sorry, Joe. The other thing I wanted to say, and that just reminded me, is all this hiring. Right, we're hiring, we're expanding. We were working on this cool tools, new technology, Unreal, blah blah blah. I did think, okay, this means it's definitely coming to PlayStation.
It's definitely.
That's the multiple projects is
Easier to
porting
port
things to
to PlayStation
PlayStation.
on
Exactly.
Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would think it comes to PlayStation, Switch, wherever it can be played. That's what Microsoft's mission is. It's about the monthly active user. It's no longer about the box.
Nope.
And the sooner people get over that, honestly, the better, so that we don't have to have these conversations anymore. And you might say, yeah, and we had this talk on the trophy room this week. It's very easy for me to say that as someone who has the quote unquote console that won. But what did I really get out of it other than just some Xbox games that I could have,
Until Dawn.
Yeah, I got the Until Dawn remake. Like, yeah, I didn't gain anything out of PlayStation's dominance. So, to me, I think where I fight back on is the idea of a battle royale. I think part of me agrees to the fact where you need an easy entry into the game and one that eliminates any sort of barriers. So like, yeah, a battle royale game you can put everywhere. It's the free version, whatever, like a Warzone. Great. But it also isn't an institution like Call of Duty. I think about Apex Legends. We were supposed to get a Titanfall 3 and now we don't. Right? Because Apex just went, this is where the majority of the audience is now. So this is where the audience is going to be from here on out. We don't need to focus on the Titanfall stuff because this is now essentially that. Right? So that's where I kind of push back on that. I think Halo the Battle Royale space is already so demanding. And trust me, I would love to be an ODST just dropping in on a ring. That'd be dope.
It has all the pieces right there to make a good battle royale.
Right.
It's got Pelicans. It's got
Right.
the Warthog. It has it, man. It's
has
right
it.
there, Halo Studios.
This guy. So that's where I kind of push back. It's just, let's start small first. Let's focus
I
on
agree.
this remake.
We got to
Put it out
nail
there.
the remake. Yes, I agree. Put it on
Introduce-
PlayStation.
Introduce new people to this game, and then my hot take is like, yeah, everything after 3 doesn't exist anymore, but you can
Speaking of that, Joe. Okay, no, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you
Okay.
finish. You can
But what you can do is what Star Wars has done, which I really liked, which is they took out the extended universe stuff, right? The EU,
I thought
and then
people
they
liked
started
that.
to slowly put those things in, like Thrawn, right? Being now this big bad in Ahsoka. So I think by going, hey, maybe there's this, branch of the covenant called the Banished that splinter off in this time for a different reason, that would be great. Saying, hey, this is a true start, because if we can't just go back from basic, as much as I would actually like that.
Yes.
Because then it means I got 2 and 3 remade, and those games are great too. So I would say, let's start anew.
Good point.
Some things that like rampancy, maybe we don't need.
Yes.
And maybe we just get back to the Cortana.
Cortana
Chief
Chief.
stuff.
Yes, let's get that.
Yes.
So speaking of, yes, great
Hi,
points.
Victoria.
Blackjack Music said, yeah, more might be less for me. I want a really good game with the Chief. Shoot for the stars and go for Halo 3 level go. Go from there. And then this person also said, go for the story. The NPCs like Cortana. PvP is secondary but fun. Story is paramount to the game. It gets me involved when there are stakes in play other than kill count. And I'll cut my hair before I play PlayStation. And I'm a lifelong gamer from the NES days.
Sounds
Shots
like he
fired.
belongs on our podcast.
Shots fired. Ains, if you're still here, I haven't gotten a chance to watch your video. I do need to watch it. I wish we could be talking about this with you, but we'll have to save it for another time.
Hear me out real quick.
I'd like to know, Ains, where you think Halo should go next after this remake, after Halo come involved in the multiplayer projects. But any other... Hold on. Big Box said, the depressing thing is that it sounds like the next Halo game is 7+ years
That'd be
away. New? Yeah, probably right, Big Box, which is, God.
But it would be nice we get a remake in
I
maybe
agree.
2 to 3 years.
So
With the launch of the next Xbox, boys, man, can you imagine if that lined
the
up?
handheld?
That's
Bacon.
sorry, Bacon. Go ahead. You were gonna say something.
let's dip our toes in the water and let's give PlayStation
cold.
community Halo 5 first. We'll see how interested they are.
You're right.
in the
We need to
franchise.
port that to PC and to PlayStation.
Right.
Perfect.
We'll
That's a
see
slap
how
in the
interested
face.
they truly
Yes.
are. And hot
yeah.
take here.
Why would-
I didn't hate Halo 5. I have no problem with Halo 5.
I like Halo Play's gameplay and level design.
Why not just
Opening-
Master Chief Collection? Why would we give them something that they're going to be like, this is what you guys...
Because PlayStation
This-
doesn't deserve it.
Oh boy.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
gotta
PlayStation's
stop.
going to be
Deserve it,
Bacon.
Chance.
As much as you say that, we're all gonna be playing on cockeyed dual senses here in the future. Just
Wait,
kidding, F
these
that.
are beautiful
Oh
controllers.
God, that's a good
Joe.
looking controller.
Joe,
That
it will
sucks.
never be
oh,
better.
come on. Well, he can't see it. You're dang green master.
No,
Keep master.
it's-
It's
I sold that for a pretty penny, by the way.
no. Why did you sell it to me?
Oh, there you go.
I didn't know. I'm the number one Halo fan. I sold that for $250 though. Would you have bid
Okay.
for that?
Really?
No, but you know what I do want to buy, which is like 120. It's that dang Forza Horizon 5 one, you guys. Gosh, I should
Yeah.
have bought that. Anyway, any other
had that
closing
one, too.
thoughts on
So-
the future of Halo? Go ahead, Bubble Boy.
No, I was just, that's what Joe was saying on yesterday, right? Like, do I need another one? Yeah, you do. You need
Yeah.
all of them.
Closing thoughts. I'll just say I'm optimistic, but like Joe said, and like many others have expressed as well, they got to show us something, and they got to show us they're moving in the right direction. And I'm I'm praying that they do, because Halo. When this announcement went live, you guys, Twitter was reacting and was positive, and it was, everyone's still the old. I don't know if it's just us olds. Probably the kids don't give a shh.
Actually, I saw a lot of people upset.
Did you now?
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
I saw a lot of people upset, and
Like
rightfully
being
so.
like 343 getting another chance or something stupid like that.
No, even worse. They've done something deplorable.
What?
They put a whole bunch of DEI in the game.
Oh God, yeah. Why did you have to even bring this up, Joe?
Yeah.
We were gonna go without.
Yeah.
He's right,
Anyway, shout out to Halo. I believe in you, Halo Studios. Godspeed, and bring back Cortana already. We miss her.
Also, let's see Grums's gamer tag. Let's see his gamer score.
I don't
Let's
even know
go.
who that is.
Does he even have one? Is it private? It's got to be private.
It's got to be. But I want to see it. You know,
Grum-
if
you
you're
don't
gonna
know
call out
Grums is?
females for doing this, that, and the other thing,
Who is this?
wanna see-
Grums
He's
is the
a-
most toxic human
yeah,
being on
he's
Twitter.
a
Not a
big
good
piece of
person.
shit who likes to attack women and people of color because they're in video games.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's,
2.5 of them here on this
he's a
panel.
former Blizzard dev, isn't he?
That's right, and nobody
Oh
fucking
God,
liked him
that
there.
guy!
Yeah,
I know who
Oh,
you're
he
talking
is
about. Oh, just
toxic.
the worst. Anyway,
He's worse
Dude
than
sucks.
bacon.
that's right.
moving on. News story number 2. Bethesda Game Studios' big 3 RPGs are now Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and, shockingly, Starfield. Studio veteran says Starfield is simply developing its own unique fan voice. And this is coming from Colin Stern over at, what was this, VGC? Games Radar, sorry. Basically, Emil, how do you say his name? Does anyone know how to say Emil's last name? Emil Pagli? Can someone help me out here?
Let's just go with the meal.
Pagliarulo was commenting on a recent interview. Basically, first question, you guys. Do we believe that Starfield is really a part of Bethesda's big 3 from now on? Do you see a sequel
What
coming?
would the other one be?
For now, yes.
I'm not saying there has to be another one. I'm saying why can't it? Do we really think Starfield is going to sit up there with Elder Scrolls and?
Can I say
Fallout?
something?
Go ahead, Joe. Yes, go ahead.
I definitely think that all 3 of these games need their own studios.
Yep.
That's a great point, Joe.
That's a great point.
We can't just
That's a
hang
great.
on.
Joe is spitting
Thanks,
facts
guys.
right now.
I know.
Wow.
Well, we can't just wait 15 years for the next Skyrim. You know what I mean? Or Elder Scrolls. We can't wait 15 years for Fallout. We're seeing it with Starfield, right? They catch up to a certain extent, right? They're like, oh, this is what,
Yes.
It's like they played No Man's Sky and they're like, this is what we want to do, but RPGify it. And it still feels a little bit dated in certain aspects.
Yes. I completely agree.
So I definitely feel like they need Todd Howard. First off,
He's never going to let it go. Let's be real.
he become a producer, and you can produce on all these things. That's great, but you need to start fostering, especially as Todd ain't getting any younger. You need to start fostering leadership in that studio that has a vision of what these franchises are. And that's what I think Bethesda desperately needs, because, but like real talk, Starfield at the current rate, why would you give it a sequel?
It's got 20,000 active players on Steam right now.
Yeah, but you can keep making DLC too instead of a true sequel.
True. Exactly. And to be honest, if you've played the game, I was satisfied. Like, I don't know where to go. Like, I'm like, this was a great one-off.
Starfield
I know,
controller.
yeah. I think it's a great story, and like I was fine with it just being. That's why I'm kind of asking you guys, do you really think it needs to have a sequel? Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Well, the reason why I say like why do it with Starfield 2 is like Fallout is so huge right now. That show is magnificent. It is one of, if not my favorite game adaptation of a show, right? Elder Scrolls is beloved. These 2 IP are huge. By the time a Starfield 2 comes out, literally, we're talking about like realistically
20 years.
15, 20. It's like, really? Like, I don't see it. So something has to give. And I think Todd has to give up the keys, so to speak, and be an advisor role to some gifted developers to help lead those ships,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
that's my TED Talk. Thank you.
Bethesda Studios,
Hi, Joe.
they're not a big, they don't have a big head count. I think they only have like 450 people or something like that. So like, they're not a very large studio, and that's why it is special for the games that they've made before. And I heard, again, Maddie talking about this, but guys, the other thing I wanted to talk about in Emil's interview, and this is on IGN, and there is a series of tweets, and I found the tweets, and thank IGN actually doing good reporting here. Bubble Boy, I'm actually shocked.
I was going to say we're allowed to. Pull
I know
from
I'm
IGN.
using an IGN article, and this is Wesley
Boss ain't gonna be happy with that.
Yinpool, who, by the way, was at Eurogamer for a long time. So I remember him being over there for a long time. So I appreciate this story here. Bethesda's design director addresses fan concern as Starfield DLC Shattered Space plunges to mostly negative Steam review rating. So all of us here, even Joe, enjoyed Starfield. All of us here have not completed Shattered Space, except for me and Jose. The more I think about Shattered Space, Jose, I'm definitely maybe a little bit lower than what I initially thought. I think it's in the solid to good range, like a 6 to 7 is what I would give it out of 10 at this point. The more I think about it, because I do have some issues. So having said that, Starfield as a game, when I played it originally, to me it was I would have given it an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. I actually think the Starfield original game is better than Shattered Space. The more I played Shattered Space, the more I was like, I want to go play normal Starfield again, which sucks because I was excited for Shattered Space. But anyway, basically on Twitter, Emil tweeted out, I'm looking at it right now. He said, this was a fun interview, more Shattered Space info. And he had a link to the Games Radar article. And then shout out to this guy, Steven Michaelitis, wrote a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a 9 bulleted point response to this, basically saying, I loved Starfield. I'm a fan, but it sounds like you're kind of maybe not taking feedbacks from the fans. And Emil responded to this person's tweet, and I appreciated this response. So I wanted to share this with you guys. He responded, my optimism is in no way to be meant to be mud in the eye of any dissatisfied fan. That's not how it works. I'm also very proud of Shattered Space. We all are. And confirmed that most of the quests and levels in the expansions were by people from developers who worked all the way back on Morrowind. And he said that they're good at what they do, and it shows. And he says this, which is what stood out to me. If folks haven't played Shattered Space and they like Starfield, I think they're missing out. I would agree. If folks have played Shattered Space and still don't like it, that makes me sad. Honestly, just know that we have been hearing from plenty of people who have heard it. And he offered an explanation to maybe the disconnect between the way he views Shattered Space and how fans are reacting to it. Quote, maybe it's a game of expectations, he suggested. Fans want a lot, and we do all we can do to accommodate them. And here's what I can tell you. Nobody, and I mean nobody at Bethesda, is patting themselves on the back while ignoring our players. And he goes on to say, Bethesda will continue to address community concerns, and we are listening to fans every step of the way. Starfield is a massive game, and it takes time for us to address things. We move as fast as we can, as safely as we can, and game development is always tricky, but with a game as big as Starfield, every fix could potentially break something else. To close, let me just say, I love games. I love Bethesda's games, and I've been playing them since the Terminator days. All I or anyone else wants to do is make those games and make them better. No ego, no arrogance, just hard work and appreciation for our fans. So we've kind of discussed this before in the previous weeks. Are we concerned with Bethesda maybe not taking this feedback? Are we concerned about Elder Scrolls 6? Do you believe that Emil and the folks at Bethesda are doing their best and trying to address some of this criticism or feedback, or are they just doing their own thing? So, Bubble Boy, I'll go to you first. What did you think of Emil's response?
I loved it. I loved it, and I don't know why they would lie about it. Obviously, we live in a culture where even the most important people in the country lie about things and get away with it for some weird, very strange reason that I don't understand. But I think we're never going to move past.
It's because you're not that smart like me, who is a very smart guy. People have said many things like genius being thrown around, and I tend to agree. I think I'm pretty smart. I don't know. Maybe you guys say no, but I say pretty smart.
We're never gonna overcome that kind of mindset if we don't start trusting one another, right? And I think, of course, I want to trust this guy, or not just I do trust him. I also want to trust him. I want to believe that they're sitting back there doing a good thing. Jose will probably appreciate this most, and maybe Bacon too. But one of the things that I always appreciated about go all the time Jose and I had spent in Japan. And Jose, you have to figure this out for me if you remember. They have a concept, and it's associated with the tea ceremonies that they do, where no matter what your job is, you do it to the absolute best of your abilities. And everything you do, you take seriously. When you're doing it for somebody else, and you're doing it with pride. I think all of us try to do that with our jobs, right? Regardless of what your chosen occupation is. I hope not a lot of people are out there just going to work like, whatever, I don't care if I do a good job today. And why are video game developers any different, right? They have, it's by no means the same as maybe a nurse or a doctor or a firefighter, but they have jobs that they obviously want to take seriously and have reasons to. So I loved the interview. I thought it was great. And I'm sure, what was our buddy's name? Original Ghoul. He might not have liked it. Unless was Original Ghoul just like a pseudonym for Joe? Is Joe Original Ghoul? Is that
possible? Possible.
Maybe.
Although he loves CDPR, so I doubt it. No,
okay.
Real quick. So I don't remember what the term in Japanese was. You know what it reminds me of? And Dan is going to hate this. I'm sorry, Dan. I did actually read the Apple biography of Steve Jobs because I'm a nerd. I read a lot of them. One of my favorite stories from that book is a story where Steve Jobs was talking to his dad, who was a mechanic, just a basic mechanic. And he watched his dad clean this engine for this guy. And then he closed the hood on it. And he was like, Dad, why did you just spend 3 hours cleaning that engine when literally no one's going to ever see it? He said, because we believe in the philosophy that whatever we do with every ounce that we have. And that was Steve Jobs took that into everything that he did. And I know I'm a fanboy. Like I understand that you can judge me for whatever, but I think I really appreciate that philosophy because Chance is right. And all I will say about the Bethesda thing is this is a little bit of a hot take, especially in front of my friends here. I didn't get into Skyrim like these guys did. I didn't get into Oblivion like these guys did. I have mad respect for it. I understand why people like it. I certainly don't hate it. They just weren't my games. Starfield, I did enjoy, but it also wasn't my game, right? It's just, as I've gotten older, we just kind of learn what our things are that we love to do. And that's a great reason why we mix well on this podcast. But what I think is the most true thing that we've heard tonight is what Joe said. We are just beyond an era where fans are going to wait 5 to 6 to 7 years for major titles. Like, I think if you're going to be viable, you've got to do something else. Maybe you need to split your company into two, and Bethesda has two smaller studios where one is working on the main line and the next one's working on the next, and they alternate. I don't know, but like that is a huge concern because the truth is, and Todd, I know we joked in the chat here that he said Starfield 2 2045. That's not an absurd guess if we're following this time scale. And in 2035, I'll be well retired, and I'll be like, man, I was still in my career when this happened.
I could probably be dead.
You're gonna be.
Come on.
You know on your
somebody
tombstone,
clip that.
I'll go lay a fresh copy.
This whole thing.
I'll get you one.
I felt a sharp pain in my chest this afternoon. You
That's a
kidding me?
perfect
Stop
short
it,
right
Joe,
there
stop
about
it.
how long the game's in Joe being dead. Put the timestamp.
Japanese thing is Kaizen. So the Japanese word Kaizen, or continuous improvement, is a philosophy that focuses on ways to make things better without ever stopping. That's what I was looking for. But
Joe, before I go back to you, Bacon, I would like to hear your thoughts because Bacon, again, not a big Bethesda fan, loved Starfield. So do you think Starfield's going to get a sequel, Bacon? And what do you think of, is Bethesda listening, or are you still like me, like, I don't know what they're going to do for Elder Scrolls?
Okay, I need to start by addressing the elephant in the room. Joe and I have had some mortal battles in our lives. We don't always get along. That's right. But I finally agree with Joe for the first time.
Bacon was there during January 6th. He won't tell you what side he was on.
Joe and I have we butt heads a lot, but I agree.
At this point,
we need multiple studios in Bethesda. He is correct. Sitting around waiting for something with all that money Microsoft has. These are your most popular games besides, of course, Call of Duty, which is a first party game for us that we get every year in our Game Pass.
That's right.
Who's us?
Do I think we will get Starfield 2? Probably not, actually. I don't believe we will. The critical reception wasn't there, and
I agree.
Could we get like stories of Starfield or
expansions?
like a story?
Do you think after the Starborn expansion, Bacon, or is it done after that?
I think it'll be done after that, just based by the reception of this.
I would say this: it gets a second chance when it's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be a review at 99 on PlayStation.
I am curious. I'm like, where will that score?
Yeah, where would it
Because
score? Because you can't
there-
score it higher because they'd be like, no. But you
I mean, I
can't
think you
score
could
it.
theoretically, right? Like, there's been a lot of quality of life stuff. So, like,
Good point.
if I'm walking into it, I gotta walk into it like this is the product that's out right here, right now. I'm walking into it as a person that's never played this game
It's
before.
way better now than it was at launch.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So Bacon, on the sequel talk, maybe sorry, go ahead. Finish what you were saying, and then I'll come back to you.
Actually, I
about
was
the
pretty
sequels.
much going to be done there, but we all know Elder Scrolls is going to hit, and they got to get on that real quick. And
Real talk.
and it sucks that they're not capitalizing
That's-
on this Fallout.
That's what it is.
Hype.
If you let's just say if Starfield launches the next one instead, or maybe this is what they originally should have done. Here's my biggest complaint with Starfield: the procedural generation. What a waste! Absolutely, one of the worst parts of the game. Even I admit that. Stupid. All the planets, I didn't care. I only went to the main places. I only went to where a quest was marked on my map. And if you focused on that, if you just focused on quest things, it played much better. You had to treat it like that. The procedural generation, what a waste. But let's say if they learn from that, ideally, I wish they would have done this, or I guess future players can treat like Todd, Pro Strat, only concern yourself with the mission objectives and the 3 planets. Like, imagine if they had made this game where you just went to Aquila City and that planet. You just went to Neon and explored that planet, a section of it. You only went to, where was the other one? Or New Atlantis and explored that planet. If it was focused more like Outer Worlds, but just expanded from the Outer Worlds. Bacon, do you think if they just do that, maybe we could see a sequel to Starfield? Or maybe that's what they do, is they just do similar Shattered Space expansions and that's it.
I mean, I don't know if the procedural generated was the issue with Starfield.
Bacon. It was bad, dude.
It was bad. It was too much. It was just
Yes.
way too much. Even launching the DLC was too much for me. No, I don't think so, Dan. I just, and I think a lot of this comes from because they were purchased by Microsoft, and everybody hates Microsoft for some weird reason. And it just is I'm being serious here, that it's just a steamroll. You know, it's a game that Sony tried to buy. Remember that, guys.
Yeah,
Sony tried to buy Starfield.
What if that happened? What would
Right.
the reaction have been? Oh,
Sony
my
was
gosh, it
all
feels
on
like
board
poison.
with buying it, and Microsoft said, "Screw it, we'll buy the whole studio." But I want to end my part on Starfield with my boy Mike here, who says Starfield needs a battle royale.
That'll solve it. All right, guys. Let's save the news stories for next week. We're already up to an hour here in the
Be a
show.
coward. Let's do it. Let's do the news.
No, we'll save those for later. Well, Joe, Jose, actually, let's jump into what have we been playing and or watching. And also, by the way, I am so sorry. I skipped Darrow's question. I promise we will start with that next week, Jose. I will not delete that off the document. I was just so excited when Joe got here. I wanted to jump straight into the Halo news.
Right.
Joe, before you leave, tell us quickly what have you been playing, and then
That's great.
you get out of here.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
watching.
I'm gonna get right back
Playing
to it,
or
dude.
watching.
First off, been watching The Penguin.
Oh, how is it? Yeah.
Really good, man. Really good. And yes, is Colin Farrell doing Tony from Sopranos impersonation? Absolutely. He's like, hey, what if I took Tony and Paulie Walnuts and I made him one character? Yeah, but dude, he's so good.
Did you throw any Danny DeVito into it?
No.
Dang it.
If you don't
Why I
mind.
think about that
I'm out.
for a sec. No, but it's really good. God, man, the Reeves verse is off to just such a magnificent start. It's beautiful. Besides that, I was supposed to watch Terrifier 3 tonight, but my sinuses were so bad I was sneezing all over the place. Look at me. I don't.
Yeah, you look.
Guys, come
get
on. I
out
look
of
like
here.
shit. You know? Let's be real.
Well, by the way, Joe, I just realized. Shout out to your new headphones. Excellent upgrade over the penis ones.
I hate these actually. $500. I paid $150 for them. Already a rip here? What the hell? What gives?
What
I
are
was
they?
actually
What'd you
thinking
get?
the Bosen Hoffman or whatever. It's like these weird German ones. They're like, oh, they were on steep clearance. They were like $500
Bang & Olufsen.
usually. Yeah, there you go.
Olufsen?
Yeah.
Oh, the
like a
yeah,
nice
I
thing.
like those. It just
The
they
Beoplay
didn't
portals.
fit me well, Joe. So I don't know how they fit.
That said, I am gonna for the first time. These headsets broke me tonight. I'm gonna start my YouTube channel back up to review these bad boys
Okay.
because holy shit, they're so bad. Not like the sound like the sound quality. Everything is good, except for the simple fact that they keep disconnecting every play session. And I had to go back up. This is the PlayStation,
PlayStation ones, dude.
Pulse, whatever. And I usually wouldn't do it,
They
but
can
they
never
had like,
believe that.
yeah, but they had like the noise cancellation thing, and I'm like, oh, I can eat a chip or rip a fart, and the boys won't know. I won't have to mute. Cool.
Are those the new ones on the new connection protocol that made everyone buy new headsets?
Probably. It's bad. It's bad, dude.
No
By the
amount
way-
of noise cancellation can drown out the farting that happens in our gaming
Oh yeah,
sessions.
no, yeah.
So I am looking for new headphones, but I did just buy an Apple Watch Series 10 and a PlayStation 4 Pro or 5 Pro, so that's gonna happen later. But
Yeah.
just know
I
that
like the
I've
Bang
like,
& Olufsen's.
had it.
No, the
Those are
audio
good. I
quality
would've-
for
yeah.
music on those Bang & Olufsen's
I,
is
yeah, I
exceptional.
like you can use that for everything, Joe. And I would have kept mine. It just wasn't a good fit for me. So.
That said, who's playing Diablo for Vassal of Hatred? Wow, you guys suck. Old ass men.
Joe, here's the
Old
thing. Here's the
many
thing.
old
We all
ass
enjoyed the
takes.
campaign and loved it. Actually, I don't even know if Bubble Boy finished it. The
I
three of
have
us
it because
did.
I refuse to until they bring achievements on the Game
I
Pass.
agree. That pisses me
Sorry,
off.
you're gonna have to play.
Wait,
on
there's no
console.
achievements on Game Pass?
No,
No,
it makes you go through
receivers.
Blizzard.
Dumbest
receivers.
thing. And Dan, who doesn't care about
don't.
achievements,
I got every achievement in Starter Space, by the way, boys.
yet
1200,
doesn't
1200.
care.
I'm so close to the platinum in Diablo. Ooh wee.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
That's
crazy,
disgusting.
Joe.
But-
That is
Wow.
dedication.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, go ahead. So
250 hours later, let's go.
Diablo.
Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred's real good. I have some problems with the story. It doesn't hit nearly as high as, one of my favorites, which was, Reaper of Souls, which I loved Reaper of Souls, man. The Crusader is my class. I think it's everybody's like fan favorite class that they want back. But I will say that the Spiritborn is a very, very, very close second for me. This might be my favorite class thus far, and it's not because it's broken. It's just I love the movement of it. He moves like Darth
That's
Maul,
good.
and I just love. I'm doing flips and shit everywhere. It's awesome.
Parkour.
Yeah. That being said, though, there's one line that goes so incredibly hard in the story mode. I was like, and I'm gonna clip this because I'm gonna listen to this all the time to get amped. I love where they're going with this. I hope they continue with expansions. I was talking to my buddy Dewani, and he's like, typically they only do one. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. But I think they've opened Diablo 4 up to the point where the base game's just the beginning. This is going to be a Destiny 2 situation where we're going to get an expansion every year. A new class or a new
I
zone or
can see
whatever.
that. I think that'd be smart, actually.
Yeah, I know they've planned for 3 of them, but oh my god, what a great foundation that they've made. There's a new raid that I can't wait to get into. The dungeons are great. The world bosses, ooh-wee, Diablo 4. Go play it. And then when you're done with that, go listen to this week's episode of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players.
Already
Where
did.
me and my 2 pals talk about the latest and greatest all things PlayStation. This week, the audio got messed up because you know what? Everybody's like, oh, PC gaming's great. PC gaming's great. PC f***ing sucks butt, dude.
The PC just allows you to beep yourself out.
Had technical difficulties from start to finish. And I remember when we were about to record, I'm like, man, if this episode even goes through, I'm going to be very happy.
Wow.
It did, but with the technical difficulty of, for some reason, it took Kyle's webcam mic and not his mic.
That
So he
Audio
sounds
settings, you gotta check that. You gotta tell him.
happened
real
to
rough.
You gotta
Boy.
tell him. Joe, will you
We
just
did.
let Bacon build you a PC already?
And that's the thing. I
He
have
wants
this PC,
to.
and I'm like, and I had to literally all I had to do was move the PC 4 feet in front of me, and I had to. God, it was the most pain in the ass thing I've ever done. I literally hated it because I had to like move my whole furniture around
Joe,
this
my
little room.
PC's
of
right up
mine.
here. Can you see? I'm kissing
It sucks, guys. It
Gross.
sucks.
Kissing my PC.
It sucks. Okay, And I got my PC here. It was $1,600 when I first. That's what I made it for. It's a good PC.
You gonna show
He
it to us?
paid more
Can
than that
we-
for his
Can you
graphics
lift that
card.
thing up?
I gotta catch a glimpse of these
No,
warlocks.
it's too goddamn heavy. I have the Cyberpunk graphics card in it that I won from CDPR.
Wow.
That said, though, I will need Bacon's help building a PC.
He'll do it for you, dude. He look at him. He's just
But
wants to.
budget, like we're not going
Yeah, who
crazy.
cares? We got you, man.
Anyway,
Before
literally
you
a
go, Joe,
$1,600 machine for Kyle. That's what I'm.
we got it. Joe, before you go, thank you for coming. We do appreciate it. And you did have a great point about Bethesda needs to let go of some of these.
Let it
of them.
go.
We got to figure out a way to get these games out quicker.
And give Halo to PlayStation. Because you know what? Listen, we don't just talk about all the games in the backlog. We play them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh god! All right,
Yeah.
Jose, you can boot him now. Get Joe out of here.
Yeah,
Get
that's
him outta
right.
here.
Hey, Joe,
Jose, cue the music.
Me.
hang on, real quick, hang on. Shout out to Light. She got 50,000 subscribers, man. That's super dope.
Oh,
Yeah,
congrats!
yeah.
She's been such a
Got
great
her little
addition.
plaque and everything. Huh?
I can't wait till she replaces me next week forever.
All right, now
Everybody likes her
cue
more
the
than
music.
both of
Get him-
us.
Joe,
get
we
outta
got
here.
we got some news for you. You've been fired.
Fair enough. I get it.
All right, thank you, Joe, from the trophy room, Jose. Thank you, Joe.
What music am I playing?
His entrance music.
His fucking
Oh, this one.
Said the F word.
But you don't play
That's his entrance music,
on
right?
an exit.
He also has extra.
No,
you
you
do.
have to.
No,
you
you know
do.
what you do.
Yes, you
In
do.
the- yeah,
and I don't
in-
even watch wrestling. Come on,
Yeah, no,
guys.
you're right. You're right. That's my bad. That's my bad.
What have I been playing quickly? I finished Outer Space, and like I mentioned in the chat, and Bubble Boy asked me for a gamer grade. My gamer grade is a C minus, and
Ooh.
I'll maybe work on that later. I've got a lot of reflections on it. I'll save it for another time. Highs in beginning, middle, ending quests. Not so exciting at times. Bad loot. They got to fix the loot. The loot sucks.
I agree.
You go through these cool missions and you're expecting a cool gun. Sucks. You guys,
Should I
I'm still
wait
using.
then?
No, they're not going to fix
No,
it right now.
no,
Just
no,
play
no.
it.
It's still fun. It's still worth playing. If you liked it, you're gonna like it. And easy achievements. It's fun to do for like when I was doing it. It's enjoyable, but there are weaknesses. But anyway, the other thing, I'm playing Batman Arkham Origins. I'm still confused why everyone didn't like this game. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's like the best Batman game, but I think the voice actors for Batman and Joker are doing a great job. I feel like I'm in Arkham, and it's cool to see before the Arkham series started. So enjoying that, and that's about it, boys. Like Jose, I've been struggling to game this week. Speaking of toilet, do you even play video games anymore?
I have not had a lot of time to play games this week. For those who are late to the show, we're getting ready for a trip literally in hours from now, and it's been chaos because we're going to Florida and the flights and stuff.
Yeah.
So the bulk of my week has been trying to manage that at home, and then of course, like now that we're still going manage work that I thought I wasn't going to be here for, it's just been chaotic. However, in that time, I did get to play Shattered Space, and I did finish it. I'm not as down
What did
as
you think of
Dane
the
is right now. I would give it
Final
a C.
end?
I
What
would
about
give it
the
a C.
final mission? That was pretty cool.
I
Final mission
enjoyed
was
it.
fun.
The intro was my favorite, hands down. Like I loved that. I wish we had
The
kept that vibe.
cave and
The cave
the
was cool,
ending.
and the ending was awesome. I
Yes.
love those.
I agree.
I think a C is fair. It wasn't an earth-shattering game, but it was fun. And honestly, one of my favorite parts, no joke, was that it was only like 5 hours. And not because I didn't want more Starfield.
Yeah.
It's just I have so much to play.
Only if you
Over-
mainline the main campaign. Other side
Correct.
stuff, like I said, it took me about 15 to do everything.
Yeah, if you do it all, it's longer. But like for the main story, I just want to get through because I'm waiting for Black Ops. I want to finish Plucky Squire. I now want to play Silent
Destiny
Hill.
2.
Maybe we'll play Destiny 2. That's fine.
Chained
It was very
together.
good, man.
Chained
Yeah,
together.
chained together at some
Good luck
point.
with that.
The
That's
other
my
thing
fault.
I'm now to the last mission of Plucky Squire. I don't want to talk about my total thoughts yet. I know Chance is going to give a
We're
gamer
gonna
grade
get to it
today,
right
which
here,
is
yeah.
great. I'm enjoying it. I understand a lot of people's complaints. It's not my favorite game I've ever played, but it's fun. I'm definitely going to finish it. It's perfect for me to play on the plane, so that's why I'm going to finish it. And then I also did buy, thanks to Luke, he keeps talking about it, and it feels perfect. I bought Pumpkin Jack on Steam. It was like literally like $5, so I'm going to play that while I'm on.
You know what that reminds me of is in Tropic Thunder. What was that? He played one of the characters. It was some special Jack or
yeah.
something like that.
That Robert Downey Jr. played.
Yeah.
Make my eyes rain.
But while I've been working, like at night instead of gaming, I've been watching a lot of TV because I'm like working on my computer. And a huge shout out to Ains and really actually to Sardonism. So Sardonism is one of his new writers over at Season Gaming. One of his shows a couple weeks ago, she mentioned this movie called Terrified. And I was like,
Joe was mentioning?
no, Terrifier, different story. I've seen Terrifier 1 and 2. Terrifier 3 came out recently. I'll watch that eventually. But Terrified is a Spanish film. It's in Spanish. And I
Just like Abre los Ojos, the original film for Vanilla Sky.
Sure, except this one was
There's
good.
an original Vanilla Sky.
Yes,
But
it
this,
worse?
Why? Why was there
With
a
Penelope
second Vanilla
Cruz.
Sky?
it was with Penelope Cruz. Yeah, I knew that.
Might watch it then.
But Terrified is legitimately a movie that I haven't been kind of creeped out in a long time watching movies because I watch a lot of horror. Super good. And I don't know where it is other than Shudder. I watched it on Shudder, but it was really, really creepy. And then apparently the director made a sequel called When Evil Lurks. I also watched that one. I didn't love that one as much, but it was still also very creepy, very, very original, scary stories, which was very cool. And then the last thing is, if you've ever heard of the VHS series, VHS is like a horror film where it's kind of supposed to be like Blair Witch found footage, but there's quite a bit more supernatural than Blair Witch. And I liked the first one. The second one I didn't think was great. There's been like 9 of them now. This is the newest one. And the reason I wanted to watch it is because it's really about aliens, and it also has Alana Pierce in it. She's like a famous, she's in the gaming circles, and she's an actor in the film. She did great in her role, by the way. The story was bizarre. I didn't totally love this story. There were a couple of the vignettes that I thought were pretty cool. But just if you're into sci-fi, into scary stuff, check out VHS Beyond. If you like just scary, Terrified was super rad. That is what I've been doing this week.
I can answer for Bacon. Bacon's been playing Curse of the Dead Gods. I don't think
Did you beat a Bacon?
Anything to add?
So get this. I beat that boss that I got into like 10 times, and I was like, I got through the cutscene and everything. And then it opened up hard levels, and I'm now stuck on hard levels. And
what are hard levels? Not part of the bonus?
Yeah, and I haven't gotten all the achievements, so I'm really kind of angry. I was so mad at that game last night that I almost bought God of War Ragnarok and started playing it.
Wow!
Just because I was so
mad, I
mad
almost spent
at
$70.
But then I downloaded Seafood instead. So
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
so
Nice.
it works.
That's it. Yeah, I've seen Bacon. Every time I've been on Batman, I've just seen Curse of the Dead Gods. Curse of the Dead
So
Gods,
addicting, gentlemen. It's Hades on crack.
Bubble Boy, what have you been playing? And let's hear your gamer grade for the Plucky Squire.
So I finished the Plucky Squire, and I didn't like it, unfortunately.
He didn't.
Yeah. So the final grade is a C, a 1.9 GPA. For language arts, I gave it a C minus. The story, at times it's unique and inventive, but it's generally just predictable and really vanilla. As much as the overarching plot is cool, I lost the forest through the trees more often than not, usually because of the constant interruptions for explanations about various mechanics or new characters. It's not just living up to the hype that I felt after the first hour or so. Math C minus. Let me rewrite that last sentence. It's just not living up to the hype that I felt after the first hour. So if it weren't beatable in 8 hours, I would have stopped playing, honestly. I know. If you can get it for 50% or more discount, I would give it a higher grade for just the math. But I paid full price, and I honestly feel like 50% might even be, or C minus might even be pretty generous. Science gave it a C. No bugs or crashes whatsoever, but it's also not a demanding game at all. I did love the way you switch between 2D and 3D, and I absolutely adored the one-off boss fights that were obvious shout-outs to games of lore like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. On the flip side, though, literally almost every page you turn begins with some arbitrary explanation or dialogue that gets in the way of playing the game. Social studies, C. Unique story and story within the story concept was cool, but it never really took off past that initial concept. There's a number of side characters that don't stand out. I can't remember a single name of one of them aside from Moonbeard, who's kind of cool. I do enjoy the setting, which is like a desk in a child's room, and it reminded me of was it that game we played on Dreamcast? Was it not Toy Soldiers? Well, it was like toys though that you would like. loved that
Oh
game.
God, what was
Right,
it?
and you were like playing.
We have the power of the internet right in front of us. Somebody get on
I
that.
know. It's not quite the same, yeah. But I like was hoping for something that would transform into that, and it kind of did, but not. It didn't really take advantage. It was just all on the desk.
Boy Commander.
So, Toy Commander, yes, 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 yes. So it was well done in terms, or the social studies. It was. I was disappointed that it wasn't nearly as explorable as I originally thought. Art B plus. The changing art styles is really really cool. And for a moment, I thought we were getting into something almost like Psychonauts 2. That's high praise. It absolutely did not even close to Psychonauts 2. In terms of like the changing art styles and stuff like that. But it was well done, and the way the different art styles are used give an explicit meaning within the context of the world and the story. It's at its best when it's mixing up different variations on classic styles. Music D plus. The narrator was fine, but outside of that, like I don't remember anything about any of the music or the sound, voice acting, any of that. And then PE for Daniel D plus. It's just unfortunately not fun for the most part. I just hear Herm Edwards ranting in the background. You play to enjoy the game. You don't just play
You
it.
play to win the game.
Thank you.
You don't play to just play it.
Yeah. So, but it made me think of this because when we were talking about, so overall C 1.9 GPA, but when we were talking about the Steam ratings on Shattered Space right now, I don't feel compelled to go on to Steam and give this a thumbs down for what that's worth. I've never given a game a thumbs down on Steam. I feel like it really has to be awful to get that. I feel compelled to give plenty of games a thumbs up, but this is one of the first ones that I've like, I'm just going to not rate it at all on Steam. So for whatever that's worth.
No, thank you, Bubble Boy. So you aren't gonna. I don't think it's a bad idea for you if you have this written up, Chance. Why wouldn't you post it up there? Can't you do a like a in between, like a mixed review, right?
I thought it was just thumbs up and thumbs down.
Well, I know you can leave reviews.
it's
Like you can
thumbs up
actually
and
type
thumbs down.
text, but
Yeah.
Well, then maybe
I have, and I've thought of that a couple times, and but I think what I'm saying is it doesn't feel right to me.
yeah, I see what you're saying. To put it down versus you can't give it up though. You can't
Exactly.
get it up.
No,
yeah,
no,
gotcha.
definitely not worth an up.
Okay.
So.
Anybody else have anything to add, or are we good to move on?
oh man, I will next week, but not right now.
All right, let's close the show like we always do with the best.
It's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
The best food we had this week. I'd love to share my Hawaii, but I'm seriously gonna have to make like an hour-long video for that, guys. So I'll just save that for another time. Please, Jose, if you didn't already, I wrote it in the notes there. Please add 1 QPC and 1 Big Mac. Guys, I figured out why the QPC is so good. I read about this recently. It's the only burger at McDonald's that is made with a fresh, not frozen burger patty.
Why is that?
So that is why the QPC is up and
I don't understand.
It's I don't know. They use fresh patties for the QPC and not for the other burgers that they have there. So look it up. But the best food I had this week. Shout out to Allie. She applied. I think I told you guys for a job. She did not get the position. She flew out. That's where she was this past few days. She was a little bummed out about it today. I don't think she really was going to take it. I think she's just more bummed that they're not offering it to her, even though she probably would have declined it. But shout out to Todd. Todd sent her some nice words in the chat. But so she wanted to go get some delicious food tonight, and so she ordered Texas Roadhouse to go. And man, guys, Texas Roadhouse. Every time I have it, the butter, the biscuits, the steak, the mashed potatoes and gravy, I'm just like, God, there's a reason why that place is packed all the time.
What kind of steak did you get?
I got the 11-ounce sirloin. Or no, filet. Sorry, I got the 11-ounce filet and mashed potatoes and 3 biscuits or rolls and a side of the house salad with ranch. Absolutely delicious. So shout out to Texas Roadhouse. But boy, I throw it over to you. What was the best food you had this week?
Yeah, you are fine. You're gonna be sad that it took so long, but finally proud of me. As we were at Walmart, picked up my Baja Chipotle Subway.
I had some of that tonight with the chicken that the kids didn't eat.
Yep. I literally, I was like, the only food I think I ate this week that I didn't consider putting it on was when I had cereal.
It goes with everything.
Yep. Yep.
It's so good,
Yep.
Chance. I was telling Allie tonight, I'm like, Allie, you should really try this with your chicken I'm like, you need to try this with more things. So she's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So
she's crazy.
So thank you for the consistent pushing of that because it was worth it.
Shout out. And Bacon looks like he's about to fall asleep with the bacon. Did you have any exciting food this week?
My wife made homemade French dips that were really, really good. I'm
Au jus.
very-
I also
yeah.
had au jus tonight with my steak. Delicious.
So much so that I had a second sandwich and it worked really well. Then she also brought home crumble cookies.
What'd you get? What
never
kind?
had it. Never had it.
You've never had crumble cookies?
What?
You're
I'm
a
actually
fan of
surprised by that, dude.
sweets? Wow.
I know.
I don't know the names of any of them. They're very large, and you can only take little slivers off them. So it took like 3 days to eat them all. But so worth it. So Dan, you should go out and get some of those real quick. And the new Nerds gummy clusters.
Yes, show the people.
I don't have
Bring
the bag with me.
You ate them.
Yeah.
No, they're still down there. We can only have one or two at a time. But
Oh,
best flavor there is, hands down.
what's the new flavor? Tell everybody.
They're red and blue. Red and blue.
Red and blue
Nerds.
flavor.
I don't know.
System.
I sent you a picture, Dan.
I know. I'm pulling it up right now, Bacon.
Jeez, this guy.
Here, Nerds gummy clusters, berry rush.
So good.
There it is.
Ooh.
The best flavor.
It looks like it.
Best flavor, and it's not even close. I have
Bacon. I was a little concerned when you originally sent this because I was like, "Oh no, it looks like an icy flavor." That's kind of like or like the
Rocket Pop.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been drinking liquid IV that's flavored for those.
Yes, Trish. Is that something Trish shared with you? Because she gave me one of those earlier. I'm like, I don't know about this. But
Well,
anyway,
what was hard because every time someone asks me, they're like, "Does it taste like them?" And I'm like, "Well, no, because when you eat a bomb pop, you're not eating all the flavors at once. You're not like eating it like a corn on the cob. You're going, yeah."
it kind of did, I remember, but it also what shocked me about the liquid IVs is that it was definitely salty tasting. It's
they're
very
salty.
strange. Yeah, it's very strange. You can taste the electrolyte salts. that
It's
they
salty.
give you. Shout out to the chat. Nissa had some slop casserole, which is a rice, frozen veggies, and meat mixed together. Can be pre-cooked frozen pizza. It's been a long week. And Deja Vu said, my pregnant wife brought 2 containers of Baja Chipotle off Amazon and to have on her sandwiches. LOL. Just go to Walmart. They got plenty. Well, to be fair, they have been running. Every time I go, I'm getting like
I'm
the last
telling you,
one or
dude.
two.
Yeah, they were not there.
Yeah, Amazon. Jose, tell me you had something good this week.
Well, I thought I was going to have something good this week because I thought Dan wasn't a liar.
Oh no! It changed again, Jose.
So this week we had a wedding on Tuesday. It was the day before we were supposed to leave to
On
Florida.
a Tuesday?
Yep, story for another time. But that morning, I had a very short window where I was like, I need to get an oil change. Like I just needed to do that because my car. It's been a while. And while I was on my way there, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go 10 minutes early. I'm going to go to Burrito Express.
Do you
get a
still
breakfast
go
burrito.
to the Travis?
Well, I do, but I didn't know they
Rotus.
sold it.
The Rotus.
So I
Yeah,
showed
they're
up
not
and
even
they were-
there anymore.
And I didn't know that. And so I showed up there, and they knew people did fine. I won't go there because I was going there for the Rotuses. But I will. I had my burrito, so I literally just went out and sat on the grass and like enjoyed my burrito. Here's what I will say. Because last week, sorry for those that don't know, Dan said that this very place that we loved to go when we were kids, they brought their old salsa back, which was what
Well, I don't know if I said old. I said
No,
they
you absolutely
switched.
said those
Well, I
things.
meant to say they brought back what I thought was the old red sauce. How about
Dan's a
that?
liar. So they brought back a new red sauce.
Yes.
It's better than the one we
Yes.
had. It is not the old sauce. And so It was still very good. I'm not mad at it.
It's better, right, Jose? It's
It was
leagues better.
definitely better.
Okay,
Definitely better.
thank you.
That was the first thing. I also we went to Chipotle tonight, which was delicious. I got literally as soon as the show ends, I got to edit the show and then go pack and stuff. But it was very, very good. Shout out Chipotle. And here's the bigger news. I haven't gotten one yet because I was busy today. I was working. Double Decker Taco is back until October 30th at Taco Bell, and it's only $2.
I was gonna say $8.
Nope, only $2, which is actually cheaper than what it cost when it was on the menu last before they took it off. So,
Yeah, well,
if you're a big fan, which I am, a Double Decker Taco was literally on my debit card for years. That was the picture on my debit card. It's available till October 30th while supplies last. So go check that out. I will be doing that when I get back from Disney for sure.
shout out, Jose. Also, shout out to Deja Vu. For our 1-year anniversary this week, tried some Virgilio's Pizzeria Wine Bar. Enjoyed the bison ravioli and some pear ravioli. The deal wife had fiocchi.
Like gnocchi?
Deja
Gnocchi?
vu. Fun fact about Virgilio's. Virgilio's is one of our favorite restaurants. It was actually in Lakewood, and they moved to that Littleton location, and that's where Allie and I had our wedding meal, and Jose
True.
was there.
I was there. My wife.
We still try to get there, to celebrate our anniversary as well. So shout out to Virgilio's Pizza.
Is that the place we had our first Nerd Chat Christmas party?
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah,
Daniel doesn't. You really had to think about
dude.
that.
Was that like during
His
like
kids were little,
like,
to be fair.
Yeah, and that was like right after COVID, right? If I'm
Yeah.
remembering correctly. Yeah. So, gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 180, the future of Halo and Bethesda Studios. My name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat podcast on all social media as well. And you can also find me at the dentist tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to get a hole in my teeth or my tooth back there. So that's cool. I brush twice a day. I floss. I rinse twice a day. I don't drink pop. I don't drink orange juice. I don't drink soda. I don't eat that much candy. Cavities. I hate my teeth. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me Chipotle_Bear on X. Feel free to reach out. Also, huge thank you to, of course, everybody in the chat and everybody listening. If you have a moment and wouldn't mind subscribing or sharing us with other people, or heck, even leave us a review, we'd appreciate it. We're on a road to 500. We're at 296,
almost 300, baby. Get us to 300
threshold. So we
Let's
appreciate
look into
everybody
them
listening.
China bots.
Yes, yeah. We gotta look into India
I'll look
bots.
into the China bots. That's fine. Shout out to everybody that wrote in. Thank you guys. And De Niro, I know you're not listening right now, but we will eventually.
Yes, we did not forget your question.
I did some
De Niro.
good research for you, buddy. All right.
We have your question. I'm looking at it right now. Shout out to Silkenet. Shout out to Nessa. Shout out to who was the music
Deja,
one?
Blackjack
Muse, Deja for stopping by, of course. Big Box. Shout out Big Box 181. Speaking of Big Box, X Bacon Gaming. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at XBaconGaming and all your gaming platforms at XBaconGaming as well. Shout out to our man Joe for showing up tonight.
Yeah.
Coming into the Lion's Den.
Clutch point there.
I let him have it. I feel like I did. So hopefully I don't get brought up on too many podcasts next week, but we'll find out. So.
It's good exposure.
Yeah.
And fun fact, I'm now off of Coke Zero and I only drink water. So it's been 8 days since I've had a Coke Zero.
A Coke Zero every now and then.
I figure the aspartame stuff in there can't be good for you. So
No.
I just gave it up.
Not at all.
And I feel great, actually, being off any
Probably
kind
the
of
caffeine you're being off of. That's
Good for you, bud.
Shout out to Bubble Boy N7. Where can people find you?
All right, Bubble Boy.
He got his own freaking system.
I know. I couldn't not. You can find me at the doctor's office. Next week is going to be fall break for those of us in Aurora Public Schools, and I scheduled one of those surgeries.
Snips.
More importantly, what game did you pick up?
Shattered Space.
Shattered Space. I'll be playing.
Oh, you're going to need more than that. Like, you're going to finish that in half a
15
day.
hours now.
You think so?
Yes.
He's got to get every achievement. It's easy to do.
Yeah. And I still have some
And I
I still
enjoyed
haven't
it.
gotten to level 100, so I don't have every achievement on Starfield itself.
That you're gonna have to. I'll
Okay,
send you the
that'll get
farming
you
through.
method.
Hogwarts Legacy was mine. Fantastic choice.
Well, and I still haven't finished Hogwarts Legacy, so maybe I'll.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
PC.
I'll have to do that. But
Plenty to play.
can I?
great.
Oh, time out. Because that was my question. Can I bring my ROG ally with me
While
to
they're doing
surgery?
it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Can I think? I mean, here's the thing. I took headphones in to listen, and I was fully planning like noise cancellation. I don't want to hear anything. And he was like,
Yeah.
I got to be able to talk to you. So I couldn't even listen to it very loudly. So
What's
I don't
he
know
gonna
if he
like
would-
about like the weather or your beer or what?
I got a couple compliments, and then also no, it was to manage like pain thresholds and stuff. All jokes aside,
That's a good one.
no compliment. No.
Oh my!
All right, as
These
always,
warlocks. Let's make it-
Warlock lovers, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
It's gone.
See you online.
Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Wolenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. The lead producer and co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. And former intern, recently promoted co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at X Bacon Gamin'. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.